So this is Praveen Prema. So I'll be going over the App Connect Professional. So very recently, like a couple of months ago, App Connect Professional was added under the IBM App Connect Enterprise portfolio for the WebSphere middleware tools. So let me start. So actually, App Connect is one of the leading on-premise to cloud integration tool in the market, and it is positioned as one of the middleware tools along with IIB, so which is again under the IBM App Connect Enterprise portfolio. So if you look at this particular slide, what you see is you see all this like on-premise solutions which are available in the market, like SAP, Oracle, Epicor, PeopleSoft, and on the top you see all the cloud solutions like Salesforce, SuccessFactors. So oftentimes, like whenever there is like a scenario where you had to integrate like on-premise to cloud solutions, there are very few tools in the market which do it efficiently, and App Connect is specially designed for that, and not just for that. So it covers quite a lot of middleware capabilities as well, so which I would cover going forward. So again, so App Connect Professional is one of the best tools for on-premise to cloud integration. And so some of the key integration patterns which App Connect is used for is for creating data mashups across disparate data sources. So one of the use case here would be like, say, you have a scenario where you had to connect to Salesforce, and then you have to like connect to SAP, get some information, mash up, and send it across to the initiator. So such kind of scenarios can be easily achieved by achieved in App Connect Professional tool. And the next one is the API-based access for easy consumptions. So you have options to expose APIs from App Connect runtime. You can expose REST, SOAP, and quite a lot of different other scenarios. You can have scheduled jobs, etc. And the third pattern is the SaaS-based integration to handle bulk load, bidirectional sync, and trickle feed. So these are cases where you have all this historic data loads which you want to move from, say, one source system to another. So those kind of scenarios can be handled even for a historic load as big as, say, greater than 3 million records or 5 million records. Those can be handled in App Connect, and also you can use it for your delta feeds or your incremental feeds. So such kind of business scenarios can also be implemented here. And some of the key highlights of App Connect Professional. So it is a multi-tenant cloud-based platform for rapid integration of cloud applications, on-premise applications, and enterprise systems in hybrid environment via a hosted cloud solution. And it follows a configuration, no coding approach. So kind of like it's pretty easy to pick up this tool. So you don't really need like a very say good hands-on Java knowledge or anything. So it's pretty simple. It comes with a rich library of pre-built connectors for use for quite a large number of software as service and on-premise applications like SAP, Salesforce, Box, etc. And it has a library of more than 100 tips. Tips are template integration projects. These are kind of reusable components. Say, for example, you have a scenario where you want to integrate Oracle with Salesforce. So such kind of integration code is already available, so you don't have to go start from scratch. So that is one other feature. And very recently, not very recently, maybe like over a year ago, the Docker image for rapid deployment and portability across different cloud environments, different cloud and on-premise environments. So that feature was enabled. So you can have the Docker deployment feature as well. And it's designed for easy monitoring and management. So this is the runtime. So the administrator or the operations team would be able to like manage would be able to manage the whole App Connect environment pretty easily. And connected development kit. So this is a feature where you can develop custom endpoint connectors for various applications and data sources. And coming to the form factors of App Connect Professional, so it has 3 different form factors. So one is the hypervisor edition. This is the most powerful offering. So this is on-premise, where it would be installed on the on-premise server managed by the clients, and it is not IBM's responsibility. Of course, so based on your support plan, IBM would be able to support you for any administrative purposes, but it's on our premise. And the next is the Docker-based image. This is again another edition which is again deployed on the on-premise service. And then the multi-tenant cloud service. So this is also called as App Connect Professional on Cloud. So this is a cloud offering. This comes with different features. Again, it is not as powerful as a hypervisor edition, especially if you have huge data loads, historic data transfer. Hypervisor edition would be the correct offering for you. So how does App Connect Professional work? So it's very simple. So it follows the connect, transform, design, and manage pattern. So connect is where you develop your configurations, where you develop your code in the IDE, which is called the App Connect Studio. Formerly, it was known as Cast Iron Studio, and this would be shown in today's demo by Kaja. And then transform, where you develop your business logic, and it has a graphic mapping tool, so you can easily drag and drop to achieve your business transformation rules. And then you design your integration flows, and then you manage, you deploy all your codes in the runtime, which is called the App Connect Web Management Console, and it's a very simple and it's over the browser offering, so it can be easily managed and monitored. So the connectivity, it has a rich out-of-box connectors which you can drag and drop in the App Connect Studio. Again, this would be shown by Kaja. Transform, the graphical mapping for easy transformation of data from source to target format. And then design. So this is how the studio would look, the picture on the right, where you drag and drop all these different activities, as we call it, to the pane to come up with your integration flow. And then manage. So this is the web management console or the runtime. This is where all the configurations or say the integration flows would be deployed and managed. And again, the value of tips. So again, like I explained earlier, so this is another feature available in App Connect Studio, where you can just go ahead and search for your use case. Say, for example, you want to extract data from Salesforce and push it to DB2. So you can search for such scenarios in this tips, and you will already have like quite a lot of pre-built solutions, so which you can use. So this way, you don't have to reinvent the wheel again. So this way, it accelerates the project timelines, it reduces skill set, and again, reuse. So App Connect Studio. So this is the development tool. So this is the tool where we develop the code. And again, this would be explained in detail by Kaja. And coming to the App Connect Web Management Console, this is the runtime. So it is, again, a web-based tool that allows to manage and monitor the various resources of the integration environment. This environment can be a physical integration appliance or an environment in the App Connect on Cloud. So the physical integration appliance would be in case of your hypervisor edition, and when it is App Connect on Cloud, which was previously known as Cast Iron Live. So that's again managed by the IBM support team. And another feature of App Connect Professional is the seamless integration with IBM API Connect. So API Connect is the API management offering of IBM. So the configurations which you develop and deploy in App Connect runtime or web management console can be exposed through IBM API Connect. So you have that feature where you can push it to the API management. So this way, even if your endpoint, even if your endpoint is not a REST or a SOAP API, you can still expose them. So this way, you can route your traffic from API Connect gateway. And API Connect command line interface reference. So this is available for the administrators to manage the integration appliance. So this is a Unix-based interface. So it is pre-installed on the integration appliance, whether it's the hypervisor edition or the Docker-based. So you have this option. But in case of App Connect Professional on Cloud, the cloud offering, you do not have access to the command line interface. So all the interactions, you would have to raise a ticket with the IBM App Connect support team or the L2 team, and they would be doing the maintenance work for you. And logging into the console is very simple. It is through shell, and again, it comes with limited shell-based access. So logging out is again, you just execute the exit command and you're out of the command line interface. Some of the different operations you can do through command line is you can bounce the App Connect runtime, you can stop it, restart it, you can undeploy all the running configurations, you can take backup and etc. You can also assess the memory management and like heap memory, cache memory, and etc. And this helps you like in capacity planning as well. And the form factor features. So if you see, there are 4 different form factors. The cloud, the first 2 are the cloud, and the third one is the on-premise virtual private cloud, which is the hypervisor edition, and the hybrid is a combination of both cloud and on-prem. So with respect to the transaction limits, the cloud L1 to L3 are kind of the offerings which are basically used for web services integrations. And so it does come with quite a lot of transaction limits. So if you're going to have like huge data loads of very high volume, then if you're going the cloud route, cloud virtual private cloud would be a better offering. Mainly because you get your dedicated runtime, so that improves your performance quite a bit. But cloud L1 to L2 or L3 offering wouldn't be the right approach for you if you have huge volume data loads. And the best and the most powerful one is the hypervisor edition, which is the on-premise virtual private cloud. So that doesn't come with any transaction limits, and so is the hybrid version as well. And the overage charges, you'll be charged for the cloud L1 to L3 offering type, but not for the others. And additional software to connect to IBM resource. For the cloud versions, you would need like secure connector and other features, but for on-prem, you don't need that. And for the hybrid, for the on-prem, you would need. For the cloud, you don't need. For the cloud, you would need, but for the on-prem, you don't need. And deploying of orchestrations, it is very simple for the on-prem hypervisor edition. But for the cloud, again, it's pretty simple. But then again, if you want to connect to your on-prem database from cloud, then you would have to install secure connectors in your on-prem database, and then again, you'll have to use that channel to for data transfer. So with respect to performance, so the only way to connect your on-prem database from cloud is through secure connectors. So the secure connector does impact performance when you're handling very huge volume. So that would impact when you're choosing your cloud, but for your hypervisor edition, you won't have that performance issue, and that's pretty much the best one available. And for the management of environment, the cloud L1 to L3 offering type and the cloud virtual private cloud, which is the dedicated runtime, it would be managed by the IBM support team. For the on-prem, it would be our responsibility, and for the hybrid, the cloud version would be managed by the IBM support team, but the on-prem would be our responsibility. So without further ado, I would hand it over to Kaja, who would be going over the studio and the runtime, and he would be demonstrating a use case as well.
Thank you, Praveen. So today let us see. I'm Khaja Moidin, so I'm being part of Royal Cyber middleware team. So let us check the demo of address validation service. This is a web service call which is initiated by FedEx itself. So our flow is going to be some other initiator or application, or even the scheduler is going to throw a request body or request to the App Connect profession. So from App Connect profession, we are going to invoke FedEx, and wherein the FedEx is going to do some kind of logical transformation, and it's going to throw the response back. And with that response, we are going to do throw back the response back to the initiator. So just a quick intro about the AVS. So it provides street level matches, but it can distinguish only between business and residential address, and moreover, the address is only for limited countries, let's say US, Canada, Europe, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. Okay, let's move on to the demo part. So this being the App Connect Professional Studio front page. So here we have 5 different tabs over here. So each one have each unique features of it. So when it goes to project tab, we have orchestration detail. Orchestration is nothing but the each and every service. We can have multiple orchestration in a particular service. And the next is going to be the endpoint. Endpoint is nothing but the connectors which are used in this project. And we can also have a flat file schemas which can be handled when we are doing transformation with CSV files. And there are also a couple of tabs like WSDLs, XML schemas, style sheet. And the next tab is like activity tab, wherein we have all the connectors used, which we can utilize for our orchestration or services. So we have the transform actions, and logical action is quite simpler to make our logic very simple. And here comes a variable. So variable is nothing but each and every activity have some variable which can be do some unique features of it. So let's say if we click on one variable address validation reply, it throws what is the schema used and where all the activity it is utilized. And the function tab is actually utilized when we are going to do some logical some kind of transformation. Let's say we need to transform from lowercase to uppercase, then we can use a string function, or we can also use a custom function using a JavaScript. And here comes a verify tab. Verify tab is nothing but to verify our own logical transformation of the service before pushing it to WMC, which means a web management console. Okay, so let me explain this flow over here. This is going to be the start action, and this is going to be the receive request action. So receive request is nothing but what is the input we are going to receive. So here we can schedule our own port number. So desired port number using the HTTP call and the URI over here. So what is the URI we are going to use? So what all the request which comes to receive request is going to be in a string format. So we need to convert that string to XML in order to transform an XML transformation. So for that we are using a read XML activity, So here we are converting a string to an XML. This XML format, which can be utilized using an XSD schema. And once the XML schema or on the XML transaction is ready, so then we can push it to invoke FedEx web service. So here we are calling a web service of FedEx to send our request payload, and which in turn the FedEx will do transformation and throw the response back in a same XML format. Again, this XML is transformed to a string, and the string is again sent it to the HTTP. And here we even can add an exception case. Let's say if something goes wrong when calling a FedEx, or we have another activity wherein we need to send some kind of transaction logs to mail. So if something goes wrong in a mail, then all these can be captured using a catch-all branch, wherein we have separate functionality for. So let's say all these functionality can be utilized. The message, fault info, fault code, all these can be utilized, and the same can be even sent to HTTP. I mean the initiator back. Let me pull it once. Okay. So here we can even send a response back using the fault info. So fault info contains the message which went wrong. So this message can be sent to a body, and this body part can be sent back to the initiator. I mean the application where the initial request came. Okay. So let me trigger one transaction and show how does it actually works. Okay. Initially we need to start the orchestration, and then we have HTTP post utility, which is included here in Castine Studios. And this is going to be the post action, and the port number and the URI we need to specify over here. So this is going to be the sample payload and the address for this payload. So this is going to be the correct address. I mean a valid address for it. So when we click on submit, it's going to it is in turn actually calling the FedEx web service and throwing a response over us here. So the resolve status. Okay, the country supported is true. So if we are giving a country, if anything else other than US, UK, or European country, it is going to be a false statement. And here you can see the state. It's normalized since we have used a street line named Newtown. So Newtown is not coming under the city or the state. So if we are giving another any other valid scenario, let's say PO Box 526, and we are giving a trigger over here. So this is going to be a standardized response, which we got from the FedEx. So this is going to be a standardized response wherein it found all the matches. Let's say street lines, state, postal code, everything. And as Praveen said, we have tips concept over here. So here if we need to search any of the Salesforce or SAP, it is going to throw a huge number of combination wherein we can invoke our own requirement. Based on our own requirement, we can invoke the orchestration and utilize it. Okay. I'm handing over to Alok for a detailed discussion on Monitor Pro.
Thanks, Raja. So hi everyone, Alok here, part of the Monitor Pro development team. So today I'm gonna walk you through the tool which we have developed for the business transactions. So basically, before going on to the slides, like let me tell you, like if you have some business transactions, and if you want to track and through which IBM database it is going, and if you want to track of it, then actually this is the right tool for it. So the main reason for developing Monitor Pro was that it is able to track the end-to-end business transactions which involve with IIB, DP, and MQ, And apart from that, we also do the system metrics of the respective IBM middlewares. So what was the need for Monitor Pro was actually some transaction which were getting triggered, and actually they were failing due to some reason, like the node was getting down due to the database issues or something like that. So the teams, like, so the e-commerce, the clients, they were not able to track, to have a track of it. So this was the issue, which was like a major thing, because they were not knowing why there's a delay in the fail in the transactions. So we are able to track of it, and we can even throw alerts on the top of it. So going to the architecture part. So basically, how we have our data collectors, which will collect the metrics and every detail of it, and from the respective middlewares, and throw the data to the Monitor Pro, and which you can view on the dashboards. So this is a transaction dashboard, which you can see here. And next we have, like I said, this, we can also track of the system metrics of the respective IBM middlewares. So in the DataPower, like we can you can analyze data with the CPU usage, the memory utilization, system logs, and the respective technical details of the domain service and flow statistics. So this is a DataPower dashboard. So the next is the IIB. So in the IIB, like you guys might be knowing, who are in IIB, like the broker execution group and all the application and the node and thread level stats are basically the most important stats on which you can, if you want to check it on it, that what the node level performance was. So they are basically very important stats. So it's the IB dashboard. Going towards the MQ, the main messaging queue nowadays is the MQ actually. So what we offer here is, we offer you the queue manager and the queue channels and also details, their statuses, and along with it we offer the current depth, the queue depth, and the dead letter queue, which is the main thing. So we can monitor the dead letter queue and throw alerts based on the threshold levels, like what threshold levels you want, and we can throw alerts on the top of it. This is the MQ dashboard. Coming towards the API Connect, so the API Connect is basically like it's used for the analysis of the particular APIs and what services are being called. So currently what we have here is, we have for the DataPower. So currently we are tracking the DataPower services, and we can throw the number of constant services for each of these APIs. So going back to the demo part, so this is the API dashboard. So let me show you how actually the demo, how actually our Monitor Pro tool looks like. So when you land up, this is the home page of Monitor Pro. So you can see here the business transactions, the API Connect, DataPower, IBM MQ respectively. So business transactions, when you go through it, you can see actually it's like the mark of the second day. So you're seeing the, no transactions have been triggered yet. So let me go through the different system metrics, so that in the meanwhile some transactions will be triggered and we can have a track of it. So the DataPower, what we offer here is you can have like you can show, we are showing the statuses of different DataPower domains and their operational state. What we offer here is the CPU and the memory usage of it, which you can track with the help of alerts. So when this heart breaks, this is a red signal. So okay, the threshold has been increased, and you need to look into it. So how the alerts will be, how you guys will be knowing is, we are offering on the Slack channel. Along with it, we are offering an email, a webhook. So there are many different channels which we offer. So like the same wise, DataPower flows services, and that's all like we provide for the DataPower. So going back towards the IAB. So for IB, what we do is we provide the broker status and everything of it. So the memory and the CPU usage of it, and along with it, we provide the execution group details. So like what are the resource stats, and what are the JVM current memory usage, utilizations of all these things. So we provide these things, and along with it, we also provide the resource stats based on the JDBC, JVM, and .NET AGC, and every SOAP input or security resource. So whatever the resource stats we're going to have, so we provide details on top of it. Along with it, we also provide the metrics for the respective I think, I mean, the elapsed time of CPU usage and the messaging rate of it. So currently, actually, so we are having this 0, like because there was no transaction triggered in the meanwhile. So you're seeing the 0 state. So the MQ. So in MQ, like we have the queue manager status. I mean, we can show the queue manager status and all, and we along with that we show the channels, listeners, and the queues. So like you guys can see like the status of it, and likewise I said for the dead letter queue, we are offering the monitoring of that particular dead letter queue. So you will be knowing so dead letter queue is basically the messages which land up which don't go to the particular queue, they land up in the dead letter queue. So you can throw alerts on the particular threshold. So likewise same we offer the things for the queues. So likewise the metric which we offer is the current depth. We can have an alert on current depth and the IP and the OP procs. And going towards the APIC. So what we offer here is the so whatever the services which have been triggered. So currently it's like DataPower is I mean that the 12th clock has been is there. So like we're receiving no data currently, but we'll receive in a few moments. So the CPU, the memory, and the disk usage of all the respective things. So we offer these things on the part of Monitor Pro. So that's all from my end.
Hey, thanks, Praveen, Khaja, and Alok. Thanks for your detailed explanation and easy go through the webinar. Once again, thank you so much for your participation, and you have a great day.
Thank you.